Very recently, we released our project, 5 Musicians, 1 Poet. The idea was we asked 3 of our musician friends to create tracks around a poem by Holly Moberley. You can see the full project and listen to all the tracks at our website, opencollab.co.uk/5M1P. But today we're going to take you on a bit of a longer journey and a longer track breakdown of our track, Life Begins with Sound.
It all begins with a little bit of a storm rain sample that was recorded in Kardamili, which is down in the south of Greece, and it was raining and storming and it sounded really nice. There was some tin roofs around, so it's got a little bit of a metallic pop and sparkle to it.
And from that same holiday in Greece, we picked up this tiny little out of tune guy called a baglama. We managed to sneak him into this song in the layers of guitars.
Our process back in October was to listen to the performance from Holly a few times and just start improvising before the show, and then we write down some notes for ourselves so that when we come to the show, hopefully we know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we said was on the electric bass, just a happy fifths thing.
Yeah, just happy fifths thing.
Which ended up being this.
It's a major part of how we make music is through live looping, and our loop pedal. Being able to pick out key moments through this production really helped us to really get to the meaning of the song. We were thinking a lot about being introvert and extrovert and how we are all both. All at once, and particularly in the context of the last year and being performing musicians and having that extrovert personality that comes out in performances. We really took a lot of inspiration from this scene that Holly describes at the end with this little boy, finding joy in our multitudes of personality and finding joy in, I don't always know what to say, and
giving yourself permission to feel unsure.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It starts quite curious and playful and ends up being quite certain of itself. It gets that confidence of, hear the voices in my head. They got things to say.
Yeah.
Another thing that we did was to take the whole performance and chuck it into an instrument called Simpler in Ableton Live, which slices it up into lots of little chunks, and it automatically sort of grabs the bits where those consonants happen. And then you're able to just play it on a keyboard. Then it becomes this like really rhythmic consonants and vowels just from this performance by Holly.
I what the thunder said. I what the thunder said.
There were certain lines that really stood out to us both, and I think all of the musicians involved in this project can relate to the line, I put too much pressure on my sound. And also the line we've named the piece after, Life Begins with Sound. And I love that idea of like the little boy or a baby, or like a literal, like a baby crying, but then also for us, like how sound is our whole life. Those are lines that I really picked up on in the kind of choir or song part. You should hear the voices in my head, or hear the voices in my head.
And then towards the end of the piece, I just threw in a little bit of a piano solo that was mimicking that kind of light, playful nature, the curiousness, and a little bit of that rain as well, just before we come back to hear Holly again, and Holly finishes off the piece for us.
When I teach, particularly like scat singing, or any kind of like ooze or anything like that, I talk about this idea of like, now we are beyond words. Like now we are expressing an emotion that cannot be spoken or sung. It has to be scat, or maybe it's a dance solo, or maybe it's a piano solo. And that's kind of what the shape of this piece was kind of going towards, was like, actually, we've talked about how maybe I'm too loud, maybe I'm too quiet. Let's just not worry about using my voice right now at all, and let's just let the piano do the talking.
Yeah.
What the thunder said. I what the thunder said. whip crack. I speak.
And there's the piano that makes that sound like I just felt like that sounds like rain. It says the rain as well.
I speak. What the thunder said. Whip crack. I speak what the thunder said.
How do you shout without raising your voice? How do you take the hand of a friend and whisper, "This is what the thunder says"?
What the thunder said. Whip crack. I speak what the thunder said.
Surprise.
Brilliant.
Nice one, guys. Amazing.
Such a light interpretation of the poem as well, Charlie and Jake. And I love the way that you picked out the line, "If you think I'm loud, you should hear the voice in my head." You kind of you turned it into this almost like gospel-esque like, you know, tune, which I love.
Using the words as a rhythmic pad underneath it, and thought that really helped with the bounce of where you'd gone and took it somewhere else. And
the way that just kind of fades it away into a rhythm track and Charlie's voice comes in on top. That was a really, really nice effect.
Thing you totally seized on all the optimism and the this nice conversational, felt self-assured. Kind of, this is what I feel, but I'm at peace with it, and here it is kind of what I got from yours, and I love that.
I just had to like air piano solo, like, and then when you're doing the chopping up, I was like, maybe want to do the robot.
Yeah, I saw you doing a robot dance. Very good.
A lovely cheeky little bass fill in there somewhere as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much to Holly and Al and Ben and Izzy for all being part of this 5 Musicians, 1 Poet extravaganza. It's been amazing to see all the different ways in which we've interpreted the same piece, and if you like this song and want to hear the rest of the album, as we said, you can head to opencollab.co.uk/5M1P. You can download the album on Bandcamp, watch the full project on our YouTube channel, and even add it to your Spotify playlists too. Yes. So we'll see you soon for another Open Collab live stream or another little video like this. Bye!
Bye.
We're YouTubers, Jay.
Yeah, seems like it.
On the
you happy
two.
with that?
Yeah, I think so. Are you happy?
I think so.